Once again, it's overmatched, but they'll slowly step this kid up. I see a lot of promise here. This kid's very special.
He's got a lot of natural tools to work with.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Dirrell landed 17 punches out of 55 thrown, and Rodriguez was 1 for 11. And we've seen some anemic punch totals by the losing fighters on this card tonight. We've seen a 0, we've seen a couple of 1s, and that has to be extremely frustrating. It's one thing to get hit, but you want to get yours.
As great as this kid is with these flashes, something young fighters nowadays, they kind of forget are the basics. The basics are what makes you great.
And there's a knockdown with a combination of punches.
Body shot.
Any one of them could have done the damage. Does Jake want more? No, he takes it on his knee. And that's a sign right there of how strong Dirrell is. Rodriguez, at the count of 6, could have gotten up, but he made a decision on his stool. And that was the end of the deal right there.
Oh, there's Andre Dirrell. Very impressive performance. Of course, his opponent was overmatched. Let's call it like it is.
Yes, it was.
I think we're going to get to a replay here in this second round.
Take a look at the body work here by Dirrell. Just going to work, and this is the final sequence of the fight. That left hook to the body. Almost an afterthought knockdown. He wobbles, he waits, and then later on, he will go down. You get a good indication of the leverage that Dirrell is showing here as he tees off. Look at everything he's getting in there, John.
Well, and speed is power, and he really has a lot of speed. Natural hand and foot speed, tremendous reflexes. And Larry, Michael and I talked about this the first time he fought on the Ballroom Series earlier this year. I think he has as much natural ability as any fighter we've seen in the Ballroom Series in a decade.
A lot. He reminds me of a young Jermaine Taylor with that power and the leverage and the way he uses it. Look at the perfect position he's in every time he does everything.
He's got a lot of poise, and having said all that, he does need to learn the professional game. And it's going to be a step up when he fights fighters who really know how to fight and or are live opponents in there with him. And that wasn't the case tonight. That's not his fault. He did what he was supposed to do, which was to blow the guy out of there. He probably could have blown him out sooner if he wanted.
And what you're watching now is probably the latter stages of these walkover type fights for him, because now he's getting television exposure. The money will go up, the stakes will go up, and the quality of the opponents will go up, and we will go up to Pat O'Malley and get the final numbers.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by knockout, his 3rd consecutive knockout. He's now 3-0. Round 2, 112 of round 2. The Matrix, Andre Dirrell.
So Andre Dirrell getting it done, and his opponent unable to land a punch in round 2, so Jake Rodriguez goes down for 1 punch landed for the entire 2 rounds. And here's more of what he's doing right.
Well, that's his clamshell defense, for lack of a better word, because Jake really didn't know what to do, and you can't blame Jake. He's in over his head there, and he has been a durable, rugged journeyman throughout his career, but he has never, ever faced a young, upcoming star like Andre Dirrell tonight.
So the Dirrell family hardly breaking a sweat on their card tonight. And after we come back from break, he'll talk about it. Stay with us. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Andre Dirrell has his quick victory, and now he'll talk to John Scheinman.
Well, it looks like the Matrix put Jake Rodriguez through the blender in that one. Tremendous body work. I mean, what was your strategy going into this fight?
Well, he was a short dude, you know. As long as I kept my stick out there, wouldn't be a problem. Kept my stick out there, couldn't get past the right or the left lead, and body shots pretty much took him out for the rest of the fight.
Now, you mentioned he's a short guy. Is this part of the learning process to face a whole different variety of guys? You know, he was known as a pretty durable bulldog. I mean, let's face it, he had 3 times as many wins as you had coming in, 6-2. But you know, facing a different variety of guys, is that important going up the ladder?
Definitely, man. You know, my first 10 fights, I take all of these fights as a learning experience. It's something I'm gonna have to learn off. Watch my tapes, see what I'm doing wrong. And then when I get to the top, I'll be ready for that world championship.
Okay, off the top of your head, what do you learn from this fight?
The body is a good thing in go for.
But that wasn't the strategy coming in. I mean, you just sort of felt your way into that.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I figured the only thing he could possibly have was a hard hit. And I knew he wasn't going to hit me with too much. So if I kept him on the outside, and when I led him to them ropes, dig to the body because he's going to ball up, I knew he was intimidated by me in the first place. So the body shots took it.
Andre, you opened the fight with an uppercut that landed right on the chin, and then you kind of did a fancy pirouette kind of move. The guys at ringside down there gave you a little criticism and said, you know, why does he need to do this? Oh, maybe he's just trying to, you know, show the fans what kind of stuff he has. Do you think it's okay to showboat a little bit, or do you think you need to suppress that? I mean, what does it mean to you?
I mean, how much showboating did I really do? What they're doing down there, you know, I'm going to have to say it, is hating. You know, it's just some, it's announcers that agree with you and it's announcers that don't. I let them do their thing because I know by the end of my boxing career, I'm going to be on top of the game. So I let them do that, you know. I've been doing what I've been doing in amateur my whole life.
So you're saying that's a part of your natural personality in the ring?
That's all it is, and you will see it in the outside as well. You know, I'm a crowd pleaser, you know. And that's what the crowd like to see. They don't got a problem with, so why should they? So that's a form of hating to me. We call that hate.
Well, they were nitpicking a little bit. That was a pretty strong performance. I want to ask you, 3-0 now, obviously able to dominate a guy like this. Do you have a timetable on when you begin to really take on serious guys, or do you just want to get a few more of these learning bouts under your belt?
The next bout would definitely be I'm moving to 6 rounds, and the more I move up, the more experience I want in the ring with me. So I'm just looking forward to that right now. So that's all.
Electrifying. Andre Dirrell goes to 3-0. Hope we see him again in the ballroom. Back to ringside.
All right, so Andre Dirrell improves and gets a quick knockout here. And we have more ballroom boxing coming your way, so don't go